Well, originally my family's from the Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the Latina comes from. I was born in Massachusetts, raised in New Hampshire, and I moved out to Philly about 5 years ago and found myself there. So I became like officially REDZ, Philly's #1 favorite Afro-Latina.
Is there a lot of like hip hop in that area?
Yeah, like reggae. You know, it's very diverse. Like once you go more north, it's like very diverse. So.
What was the artist that inspired you?
Well, I had a lot of artists that inspired me, but I listened to a lot of Keisha Cole growing up, Mary J, Beyonce, Aaliyah. I love Aaliyah, and Selena is like my #1s, you know. But as far as like hip hop and stuff like that, Queen Latifah, I grew up with, you know, listening to Queen Latifah, Bemima. That's when Charlie Baltimore was out in those days, you know, that's like Busta Rhymes and all that. I've loved all kinds of music, so I can't really say what inspired me because I was more into dancing, so I was more a music in general kind of person. Whatever made me move.
So how did music make you feel when you first fell in love with
it? Like a star all the time. Every time I dance, every time I was, you know, when I was little, you know, dancing is a cultural thing. So when, you know, as a kid, you start dancing and you have a little bit of rhythm, everybody just claps their hands and gets you excited. So I always liked that attention when I danced. So I pursued it. As a kid, you know, I was like dancing in school and dancing. Whenever we used to escape to house parties, I was like the top dancer in the, you know, in the room. You know, everybody couldn't wait till I came in, and you know.
So is dancing in your bloodline?
Yeah, that's how my parents met. They met dancing. Well, they fell in love dancing. In the Dominican Republic, my dad was shy, and my mom was, you know, that spicy, you know, aggressive Latina, and you know, they made him. Like, they pushed him to dance with my mom, and my mom, you know, killed it, and my dad killed it, and they liked each other after that, I guess.
So how did you get into songwriting, singing?
I always like writing in general, like my thoughts. It was more of a coping thing, writing was my thing, but when I decided to write to a song, it was like mainly inspired by the fact that, you know, I'm getting older, so, you know, there's certain dance moves, you know, like I can't do like break dancing and stuff like that. I'm not throwing myself on the floor anymore. So it was like, how do I get to still express myself to inspire my daughter, because she just turned 5. She loves dancing and singing. So when I seen her in front of the TV always and stuff, I remembered myself as a kid always loving to sing and dance, you know. So I looked at it like she's gonna have certain traits that made me pursue that when I was younger and got shut down, you know, little things like that. So I was like, I don't want her to like have to go through a lot of troubles. So I really just started writing to get off my mind. But then I was like, how do I make money? How do you make money off of this? You know, that's me. I'm, you know, all about my money. So I was like, how can I make money off this song? So as I started studying the business and watching like Cardi B, her business ethics, and Jay-Z and Chance the Rapper and stuff like that, and I started researching and Master P and a lot of stuff like that, I was like, okay, this is really where I can actually establish something, because one thing I know how to do is sell is myself, because I always stay true to myself. So I know me 100% and I know my value, so I had to search for my value. So it took a lot of spiritualness and everything, but in the process, like, I started writing basically just to establish myself so I could be a better mom for my daughter, so she could pursue her dreams, you know? Because I don't want her to be like, I don't want to be like, yo, you gotta live to your dreams, and then her be like, well, mom, why you never did it? Mm-hmm. You know, and then what answer can I give her? You know, and I feel like, you know, leading by example is very important, because I didn't have that.
Do you think pursuing your dreams make your reality better?
Yeah, it does. It changes a lot about my reality. I feel more in control of what's going on around me. Like, even though things like my circumstances may not seem like they're up to par to everybody else's expectations, I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about it anymore. Because I know that no matter what, as long as I stay focused on this, on my vision and what I want, I'm going to get everything that I deserve.
So, what's your affiliation with the Flavor King?
Well, I was introduced to them through a mutual friend, and I got to meet, Ron, and as we started speaking, and he told me about his passions, and it was like we had a lot of things in common, like him as far as music, everything like that. And then I see his drive and his grind, his hunger, as far as like establishing Philly Fruit and everything like that. And it just reminds me of myself, and just knowing he's been doing it for so long, and such a giving person. It's like, yo, I think, I'm not trying to play God's role, but it's time for him to receive. And I'm God driven, like spiritually guided. So when I meet certain people, I feel like I meet them for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a matter of to understand if they're either a lesson or a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So it was like one of those. What is to come from here. But as I continue to like get to know the business and what he has going and what is established and everything, I was like, wow, this is such a great opportunity for him to grow, and for him to actually get himself out there, because he does have a lot of ideas on community things, and what like we need strong entrepreneurs of any race, you know what I'm saying, to stand for something. It's like, what are you working for if you're not standing for something? What are you building a business for? Like, okay, you plan to get this money, but what are you going to do with your money? Like, and that's,
So, how important you think women are to the industry?
I think women are very important, as long as these women understand their value and how much power they really have, instead of continuously degrading themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand there's levels to this shit, but if you remember, like, me growing up, it was like Queen Latifah's and Remy Ma's. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was that even if you look back, Keisha Cole, and even still to today, they wore promiscuous things, but their way of holding down their bodies, you know what I'm saying, it didn't look so vulgar and so perverse. It actually was respected. I don't care what anybody does with their bodies. Like, I'm not that kind of judgmental person. But then when I'm, standing for something right now as a woman who's willing to empower without having to degrade herself, even though I have, self insecurities where you would think I would be like that, you know what I'm saying, as a pretty, because I'm not an ugly woman, you know what I'm saying, and I do have a nice body regardless of whatever battles, scars I went through with my children, you know what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a woman, I have insecurities, and yeah, I want men to lust over me as well, but I still don't feel like I have to put myself out there like that, you know what I'm saying. So when I'm not putting myself out there like that, but I still want the attention, but then a man is sitting there like automatically assuming that I'm supposed to do these things, is where I get upset, because it's like, where's the respect that men had for women, where it was like asking their age was like a don't do, you know what I'm saying, and all of the above. Like, now it's like there's no respect between women and men. It's like the women are degrading men as to be more feminine, too much soy in their milk, you know what I'm saying, and then the men are lacking those areas where women are taking those manly roles, and it's like a whole nother level of just.
I like how you put that, because it kind of just reminds me of like how the change of how men are, like you say, more flamboyant, and women right now I'm trying
I feel like once men started wearing pink, it was just over.
Yeah, they trying to women are trying to stand up for themselves. So the I wouldn't say aggression or just the sturdiness you see in women today that's trying keep that respect, that's where it comes from. And it's like the males are more like so used to disrespecting women. I'm fucking this bitch. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And then they're flamboyant. Now they're flamboyantly displaying themselves, degrading women. So yeah, I know.
And that was their way of like trying to gain dominance, but instead they just put themselves at a lower level because it was like, okay, at this point, the most you're gonna have to do is probably hit me. You know what I'm saying? And now we're gonna fight because women rights, and you're going to jail. And now it became one of those type of things where once the women grabbed them, like basically got the men by the balls, it's like it was over from there. So it was like, you know, it doesn't matter.
So are we able to get a snippet of your voice? Because I heard you rehearsing upstairs.
A snippet of my voice. Do this it? Alright, I could do it. Where, right now? Don't let it touch your spine or the bee will eat you. Don't let it touch your spine. Bum, 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 yeah. You recording me right now?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been recording me the whole time? Oh, you're so slick. Tú dices lo que tú quieras, yeah. Lo hago de mi manera, yeah. Lo muevo como una culebra, yeah. Pero yo soy una chica buena. Yeah, lo muevo, pero tú sabes que no juego. That's why yo tengo dinero. They spend in the club while I save in the bank. I'm thinking success, bitch, you know you's a lame. Oh, better not cross me. My words, they don't bust me. No, better back off me. Your bitches is dusty. Oh, he said he likes it like that. So tune in for more of my music on all platforms, and you know, some new music coming soon. So Girl Gang 2 mixtape out right now, and check out the Flavor team. You know, I'm a flavor queen, and we out here representing these streets with the Philly fruit juice. And ya tú sabes, espérate, oh, ya tú sabes, wait, ya tú sabes. So yeah, oh, and we might have a new special juice coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. So you guys are gonna be so excited. Also, right, so I'm going to Vegas, and there's gonna be a big surprise coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And on Monday, on May 11th, I'll be live performing at Philly Hot Radio. So you guys got to tune in for that. And if you want that information, follow me on Instagram at REDKissMe. That is REDKISSME. Ya tú sabes. So, yeah. Stay tuned.